Welcome to where New Orleans sports come first. This is 504 Sports Nest Podcast.
I'm here with Texas head coach Jim Schlossnagle. How are you doing today? Thanks for coming on the show.
You got it, Colin. Glad to be on with you, man.
Thanks.
Fired up.
How is starting off? How is college baseball different now with NIL?
Wow, you're diving right into it. Yeah, I think all the sports in college athletics now are affected by, what we call publicity rights or revenue sharing, along with third-party NIL, and it's definitely a part of it. It's definitely a part of retaining your team. I think it's great that the student athletes have the opportunity to earn some money. Whether that's true NIL right now or not can certainly be debated, but it's a part of it. So you have to adapt or die, as we like to say. And so fortunately, being in a place like the University of Texas, where you have such a big brand, actually the number one brand in all of college athletics is the Texas Longhorn. And then being in a city like Austin, I was actually just in a CVS earlier this morning, and there were two big posters of Arch Manning, as you know, is born and raised in New Orleans. So, him doing a advertisement for Red Bull is all over a big city like Austin. So our student athletes have the opportunity to do really well in the NIL space simply because of the brand of the University of Texas.
Yeah. Oh, I saw y'all made Omaha this year. How was y'all's team? Y'all finished short, but y'all did really good this season.
Yeah, we had a great year. We had played for the most part pretty consistent throughout the course of the season. We won 8 of our 10 series. Same thing last year. In 2025 was University of Texas' first year in the SEC, and the baseball team won the league. We won 8 of our 10 series that year. So, we've won 16 of the 20 series in the SEC in our 2 years, which is outstanding. And then this year hosted a regional. Won the regional and the championship game against UC Santa Barbara, and then hosted the University of Oregon for the Super Regional and 2 great games against the Ducks. And fortunately, we got a big hit in the bottom of the 8th inning to take the lead, and then held on the lead to get to Omaha. And so that was the 39th trip for the University of Texas, which is the most of any school. I think the next closest school is LSU with about 25 trips. And next year, 2027, is the 80th year of the College World Series. And if Texas were to make it next year, that would be the 40th trip. Could you imagine that the University of Texas would have half of the Omaha trips in the 80 years experience?
Yeah, that
historic program that we get to be a part of.
Yeah, that'd be really cool if y'all made it back again with LSU. They're all good teams, all powerhouses. You have a really good powerhouse too, and the stadium's really cool. I would like to visit one day.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. Yeah, there's a lot of the University of Texas is a very storied program. I think I'm roughly the 6th coach in about the last 100 years. So, been a lot of very successful long-term coaches here, but college baseball has changed. This is what I would consider the golden era of college baseball because of the shortened Major League draft. Now is only 20 rounds. There's actually a chance in the new bargaining agreement that it could get shortened to 12 to 15 rounds, and that just means there's more great players staying in college baseball, and there's more great players coming to college baseball. And the SEC being the best league, there's obviously just a ton of great programs. So whether it be LSU or Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Georgia, Florida, there's just a ton of great programs. So very, very competitive time to be a coach in college baseball.
Yeah. What is the recruiting process like now with NIL? Like, how busy are y'all on the phones calling in top recruits that are going to go into the draft and come back out of the draft?
Yeah, so it varies on what you're talking about. We're getting on August 1st here coming up is the first day that we're allowed to to call rising juniors in college. I'm sorry, juniors in high school. So 2028 graduates. So my assistant coaches are out all across the country right now looking at those guys and watching them play. And we'll start the recruiting process on August the 1st, calling all those great players and seeing who has interest in Texas and seeing what's a good fit for the University of Texas. But we're still, recruiting some of the guys that are the 2027s, guys that are committed to us. I just got home from watching a bunch of our in-state commitments play up in Arlington, Texas. And then, the transfer portal, that'll crank back up next summer, around June the 1st. So it's never ending. But, as they say, the recruiting is the lifeblood of any program in every sport. And so you better be on top of it because it's a proven fact. You can't coach bad players. I can coach really good players, and so can everybody. So the goal is to have the best team you possibly can.
What is the transfer portal like? Like, how is it different from recruiting high school players?
Well, the transfer portal is it happens fast. So it's kind of like speed dating. A guy goes in the portal, say on a Monday, and he might go visit schools starting that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He may visit 4 schools in 4 days, or 5 or 6 schools in 7 or 8 days. And you don't really get to know them great. You got to try to do some background work and talk to people that they've been around growing up, or maybe their high school coach or their summer coach, that kind of thing. Whereas the high school players, it's a longer process. There's a lot of phone calls. You may have a couple visits. You may even go visit them in their home. And you really, for the most part, you have a lot better chance to get to know them. And then when they, once they commit to you, let's say, a 2028 here in August or September, commits to the University of Texas. Well, he's 2 years away from getting to our campus. So we get a chance to really know his family, watch him grow up as a player, watch him grow up as a young person, and help him with that process so that he's really ready to transition to the University of Texas. Whereas a portal player, we may get him the first week of July, and 2 weeks later he's moving on our campus. And we have, that learning curve and getting to know him and getting him to trust us and creating that bond that is so essential to development. That has to happen a lot faster. So very, very different processes.
I saw that y'all had the freshman pitcher of the year, Sam Cowsert. How's he progressing into year 2?
Well, we've had, for the first time in the history of the award, we've had the back-to-back freshman pitchers of the year. Dylan Valanis was the freshman pitcher of the year in the country in 2025, and Sam Cowsert was the freshman pitcher of the year in 26. So he's here in the weight room, just getting bigger and stronger. He's already a pretty big guy, but just getting his body ready. We're gonna, he started the season as a starting pitcher for us. I think he had 5 starts in 2026, and then he was pitching so well that we felt like we needed him on the weekends in the SEC games to pitch at the back end of the games. And so he actually ended up being a closer. I think he had 9 or 10 saves. It was just had an unbelievable season. And so we'll put him back in the plan is to have him be a starting pitcher for us this upcoming year. So he's a great young man, very, very intelligent, comes from a great baseball family, and just trying to keep him healthy and have him ready to go for the season.
What is different between coaching and practice in the game? Because I'm always confused. I'm like, how does y'all get through in coaching in baseball compared to the NBA? What's different about it?
Well, baseball is a game of repetition. Baseball is a game where, you got to get a lot of swings in. You got to be. It's a very fine skill to hit a baseball or to field a baseball, to throw a baseball. It's not just about strength or running speed. It's a very, you're basically, the old school saying is you're trying to hit a round ball with a round bat square, right? And the difference between hitting it just perfectly could be 1/8 of an inch, and that's the difference between a pop up in the infield or a home run, right? So we spend a lot of time. It takes a lot of repetition. And then, baseball is a game that's extremely mental. You have to be, just think about it. If you're a basketball player and you only make 3 out of 10 shots, What would you think if that guy played? If a guy only made 30% of his free throws or 30% of the shots he takes, right, for the Pelicans or Tulane basketball, he's not a very good player, right? But in baseball, if you get a hit 30% of the time, you're an all-star, right? You're hitting 300. And so one of the keys of baseball is being able to handle the failure or perceived failure, right? When you can hit a ball really hard and it goes right to the shortstop and he catches it, and that's an out. And the box score says you failed when you really didn't fail. You controlled everything you could control. The next time up, you may take a swing, hit it off the end of the bat. You don't even hit it hard, but it bloops over the second baseman, and that's a base hit. And so you kind of have to take the good with the bad. And so we spend a lot of time, as does every baseball coach, on the repetition of skills, and then also the mental game of baseball and being able to have processes and mental skills that allow guys to be the best version of themselves when they don't do well, right?
Yeah.
And then when the game starts, you just let them go play. I mean, certainly we're going to manage the game. So might put on a hit and run or steal a base or something like that, change out the pitchers. But my philosophy is, the practices are for the coaches to help the player, and then the games are for the players just to go have fun and play and just enjoy the spirit of the game.
Is it rare to get ejected in college baseball, like as a coach? Have you been ejected before?
I have. But it's been several years since probably, I want to say my first or second year at A&M was the last time that I was thrown out of a game. But that's probably happened in my 26 years as a head coach. It's probably happened, I don't know, 7 or 8 times total, I'm guessing. I don't like that. And it happens less now because we have replay, right? So when there's instant replay, there's really nothing to argue. The only thing that you could potentially argue is like balls and strikes, which are per the rules, you're not allowed to argue that. But things get emotional in games and things get sad. But I've been coaching long enough and have a good track record with umpires and have a good working relationship and respect what they do. So I don't really say too much unless it's pretty egregious. And if I do say something, they normally let me say a few things as long as I don't push it over the edge. But we're all emotional. We all make mistakes. And but it's been a while since I've been thrown out of a game.
Yeah, I saw, and you're talking about strikes and balls. I saw they're testing the striking thing, like the challenge to strikes and balls.
Yeah, they call it the ABS, so automated balls and strikes. So in the major leagues now, you see they have that, and they can challenge a certain number of pitches during a game, whether it be the pitcher, the catcher, or the batter. And we are going to try to put that in just in the South in SEC play next year. We did an experiment run of it during the SEC tournament this past end of May in Hoover, Alabama, in the 26 SEC tournament. And then this upcoming year, it's not passed yet, but it's looking like we're going to have the opportunity to do that, but only in our SEC games. So just the SEC really tries to be progressive and kind of stay ahead of the times and mirror the major leagues. So we'll see how it goes, but it's certainly going to add a different perspective to the sport.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like the SEC is like just insane compared to all the other conferences. Always trying stuff new. Yeah,
very much so. I think we may even implement some of the pickoff rules in Major League Baseball. We were the first league, I believe, to have some instant replay. We're the first league to do the double base at first base, or one of the first leagues. So the SEC is always on the cutting edge.
Yeah. What is the experience like coaching in Omaha? Like, do you think it's like one of the best experiences in your life?
Yeah, it's the best. I didn't play professional baseball. I've never played or coached in professional baseball, much less the big leagues. So the major leagues for me as a college coach is Omaha. And I think I've been 8 or 9 times, I think 8 times as a head coach, and 1 year in 2001 when I was coaching at Tulane there on Carrollton Avenue and St. Charles Avenue right there in Uptown. And so, Omaha, I call it the pearly gates of college baseball. It's the best. It's if you've never been, it's a great father-son trip. If you're a fan of just baseball, you don't have you would go, and if your favorite team isn't there, you would still have a great time. It's like a bowl game every single day. So much to do, so many fans, so many things to see, great restaurants. It's the signature event of Omaha, Nebraska, of that town, and they put on a great show.
Yeah. It always looks fun. I tried to go 2 years ago when LSU won it all, but I didn't get a chance to make it up.
Yeah, you got to go. It's a great experience.
What is your favorite stadium to coach at besides Texas's stadium?
That's a good question. We have a lot of great ones in the SEC. I would have to say Arkansas is a great experience. Mississippi State is an awesome experience as well. Texas A&M, I enjoyed my time coaching the Aggies in Blue Bell Park, and it's great. The 12th man's a great crowd, and certainly LSU. We actually opened our first SEC series in 2027 is at LSU, so you'll have to come to a game. But a Friday night or a Saturday night at the box, two great Texas versus LSU. That's going to be pretty crazy. So
yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
And two of the best coaches in college baseball, I believe.
Well, thank you. Coach Johnson's done an incredible job everywhere he's been. He's been a friend, and I've admired his career, as an assistant coach, and then when he kind of progressed from University of Nevada to
Arizona,
and then LSU. So he's obviously done a great job.
What was it like coaching at Tulane, A&M, TCU, and Texas, and what is different between each of those schools?
Well, I started my career at Clemson University for 1 year, then 8 years at Tulane, and then the head coach at UNLV in Las Vegas for 2 years, then TCU for 18, A&M for 3, and now University of Texas. So the difference between all those schools, basically, I spent 8 years at Tulane and 8 years at TCU. So those are two private schools. So 26 years at two really high academic, highly expensive schools. So they bring their own unique challenges. They also bring their own unique advantages. I loved it at Tulane. I love New Orleans. I love uptown New Orleans, and the people of South Louisiana have always been, my favorite group of people, and how loyal they are, and they love to have a great time. And I have friends in New Orleans that I probably haven't seen in 25 years, but if I called them today and said, I need your help with something, or I need you, they would be there in a heartbeat. So that's one of my comments about being in New Orleans. And then UNLV, Texas A&M, and University of Texas and Clemson, those are all big state universities. So again, different challenges, but I've enjoyed everywhere I've coached. It's been awesome experiences, great towns. I've loved everywhere that I've been, and now being in Austin, more than likely this will be my last college. Way more than likely this will be my last college coaching job. So I hope to be here until I finish coaching.
Would you ever move back to New Orleans after that, or would you stay in Austin?
I have a 26-year-old son and 25-year-old daughter that are here in Texas. My son they were actually both born in Oxnard Hospital in New Orleans. But my son lives here in Austin. My daughter is in Houston, and I think she's going to move to Austin. So it'll depend on where they are. I'd probably stay in Texas more than likely, although, I love to visit New Orleans. I still have great friends there. But I don't know if I would move back to New Orleans, not because I don't like it, but just I would probably want to be closer to my family.
Yeah. What was your favorite restaurant when you were coaching at Tulane?
Whew, that's tough. That's a tough question, New Orleans. I'll give you two. Well, one is I like, Mr. John's Steakhouse, Desi Vega that owns a lot of the restaurants there in town. Popular guy. He went to Tulane. He was around our baseball program a lot. He was buddies with a lot of our players when I was there. So when I come to New Orleans, I love to go see Desi and go to check out his places. And then I love Pascal Manali's, which is right next to Tulane. There uptown. I have my favorite lunch there. I order the same thing every time I go. A little cup of gumbo, oysters Bienville, barbecue shrimp sandwich, and then some bread pudding at the end. you get that in the middle of the day, and then you're pretty much assured to have a long nap in the afternoon. So
Yeah.
But there's so many great places. But those would be two that come to mind.
My family usually goes there, then head straight out to the parade route for Mardi Gras.
There you go. That's awesome.
What are the goals for the season, and when do y'all start practice for the upcoming season?
Well, I mean, obviously the goal is to win a national title. When you're playing in a place like Texas, we call it the standard is the standard, and the standard here is you got to go to Omaha. Nobody cares about conference championships. I do. I mean, winning the SEC is a great accomplishment, but at the University of Texas, the saying is the winning standard and tradition. I'm sorry, the winning tradition of the University of Texas will not be entrusted to the timid nor the weak. And so you got to be a tough guy to coach here. You got to be a tough guy to play here. So the standard is Omaha, and then our players will start moving back on campus August the 1st. So we're about a week away from that. They'll do some medical testing. They'll get some minor things going in the weight room, and then our first day of class is August the 24th. And we'll start fall practice then and workouts and trying to whip these guys in shape and get them ready for the season, which doesn't start till about the third week of February.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciated your insight about coaching.
You got it, Colin. Appreciate you. And thanks for having me on. Wish you the best of luck with your show. And if you're ever in Austin, Texas, you come see us.
All right, I will.
Hook 'em horn.
Hook 'em. I'll also be in Death Valley for the game. Thanks for coming on.
You got it. I'll be there too.
Yeah. See ya.